Hello, everyone. I want to say welcome to Studio 44, but we're not in Studio 44 today. We are in Respect the Pick Studios because I finally got the technology working and my brother in studio to go over some new stadiums submitted for the Ricky Davis League Stadium Search. Mark, say hello.
Hi, is this really a studio?
Listen, there's microphones all over the place. There's cords and wires and monitors and computers and all sorts of speakers. So, yes, it's a studio.
Okay.
Respect the Pick Studios.
It's a studio.
I thought about doing it upstairs and having us both, in the green screen and having us in the background, but it's a mess.
Okay.
I think it would be a tight squeeze. So we made ourselves tiny, and we're going to go over some of the submissions from you guys. And once again, no surprise, I'm not disappointed at all. So,
what do these guys know about the Ricky Davis League?
They know it's an all-fiction league, fictional players. They know I'm the Gamblers.
Do they know?
No one knows who the hell you are.
Do they know it started with doom, da-doom, da-doom, da-doom?
Yeah, I think so. I think very early on. I mean,
like probably 86 or 87 is when we started making fictional guys. At first, we just were real guys.
Right. Well,
like we were the Yankees versus, you know what I mean?
Right. Well, we used to mix in, like for baseball stars, I remember having Steve Sachs and Eric Davis on my teams and Mattingly playing first and stuff like that. Yeah. But we would still do Ricky Davis League teams too, way back in baseball stars. Right. That's when we dubbed it a switch hitting league, right? Because you really can control what side of the plate the batter, hit based on the attributes that you wanted the player to have.
Right.
So if you had a guy with decent batting average and decent home run, if it was left-handed, you'd have to make it Ricky Davis.
Right.
But then eventually, once we got to like hardball and all-star baseball,
pick what they were, we could customize the players exactly.
Yeah. Right. And then we decided then and there, okay, Ray Cleavers is a switch hitter, Steve Stewart's right-handed, Ricky Davis is right-handed.
I would make Ricky Davis left-handed now if I could, but we wanted them to hit like we hit.
So. Right. It's great to have you on here, dude, because we branded a team without your permission. There's a Memphis Sounds already, okay? And one of my favorite creators, I believe it was Murph, right, made a Memphis team, and he gave me the idea as rockers. Okay. And I thought it made sense, so we don't have the same thing. But, I mean, at the same time, we also have the Portland Beavers, and I'm pretty sure the Portland Beavers existed at one point. I don't know if they still do.
Yeah, I mean, we have a guy named Wayne Gretz, and there's a Wayne Gretzky, so...
And Martin Rigg.
Todd Walker, and there's a real Todd Walker.
Todd Walker I invented before. I gave him the name Todd before Todd Walker was a player for the Red Sox.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
And he spells
You just didn't know about him.
And he spells it Walkor.
Yeah.
Not ER. He's a bases loaded guy. Do we have anybody who's played bases loaded? I think I've mentioned this before, but we assigned Philly to your minor league team and New York to my minor league team. So that's where Leonard Starr, Brett Howe,
Jerome Ellis,
Mariano Perez, Andy Finich,
Darryl
Todd Walker. That's Wayne where all those guys came from. We gave them first names. And it was funny, in different versions of this game, other people did the same thing. So it was weird to see the names that they assigned to people. All right, now on to the search. Murph075 has 3 stadiums. We have a stadium from Arch. We have a stadium from Sewell 21. And we have a stadium from a new creator in this list, Ray Ratliff. I believe I showcased one of his last video. And Shoru Kana, he has a team name idea and a stadium idea that he has uploaded. So we're going to get into it. Right off the bat, we have a stadium from Murph075. It's called Avalanche Retractable Dome. It's for the Alaska Avalanche. Now, this is something that's also causing controversy. We don't know if they're going to stay Alaska. They need a rebranding. They need a new cold, right, type setting.
Yeah, I mean, they could be anywhere in Canada. Vancouver.
True.
They can be Vancouver.
Well, we got the Vancouver Yetis. But they could, is there like Sweden or Norway or Greenland?
Moscow?
Moscow? We got no Russian league teams in this league right now. Come on. The Avalanche Retractable Dome. It's in Anchorage, Alaska. 5,279 feet. He maxed it out, so you're going to hit some bombs here if this stadium does. And I did want to clear that up because I've said in the comments, people seem to think that, hey, can I make this? Oh, I see you have a stadium for Manhattan already, so I won't do it. No. We've made it clear, right, that anybody can put in a stadium for any team, and we'll pick one. We'll still use the stadiums in Because I also mentioned the Ricky Davis League All-Star thing that we have going, where it's mostly me, but I have AA, AAA, and Major League teams all filled with Ricky Davis League All-Stars.
Yeah, we'll put if we like it better than the stadium we already have, we'll put it in.
We'll put it in, and even if we don't select it, we'll use it for those games too. So your stadium will be showcased. Once we get every submission and every team, I would like to do a live, whether you're here or not, Mark. I would like to do a live selection show and see who tunes in to see if their stadium gets selected or not. So that means we kind of need more stadiums for more teams. Like, right now, Sandman Dan's the only person who put in a team for the Aces. So far, I haven't received a bad stadium for this.
Here's the thing for me. I like coming up with ideas for stadiums, and getting the main feel and the vibe and the big targets. I just hate all the finishing shit. I hate filling in gaps. I hate putting caps on the ends of this.
It's a lot of tedious work if you want to make them look really nice.
It's just not fun.
And that's why I'm baffled at how Murph 075 has made 3 stadiums in the time that it's taken me to make one. I'm still working on a stadium that I'm hoping to call my masterpiece, but we'll have to see. All right, so now, we all know that I love Murph's work. I mean, who doesn't like Murph's work? When I looked at this stadium, I'm like, really, dude? This kind of seems like below you, beneath you. It's pretty standard out here. Look, just the 2 decks, and you got the luxury seats over here and the big scoreboard. And it's like, okay, that doesn't seem necessarily Murph. But then you go back here and look at all this.
Wow.
It's crazy. Making this building and blending in that, I think this is 2 railroad stations to kind of turn it into a hotel. And then he's got this amazing, giant pool in the middle of everything. It's like this giant mall connected to the stadium.
Yeah, can you imagine going and hanging out at that mall and then say, hey, we're going to go to the game now?
Oh, Leroy Tillman's up. I want to go see him hit real quick.
Yeah.
You grab your food from over here and you
get
go
your piece of pizza from Sbarro's and
yeah. Look, you can play video games over here. You can make a stadium while you're in a created stadium, a stadium that's been made. But look at all this stuff. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So much detail, so much time must have went into that. And he's got this great retractable roof.
Yep.
Or, well, I mean, obviously it doesn't really retract, but it certainly looks like it could.
He definitely used his memory for off the field stuff.
Yes, and it's 100%, so you can see. Nothing really going on outside of the stadium. Of course, I mean, you don't have room for it. A, with the thing or with the memory, and B, you just don't need it.
Especially behind you. You don't see it in the game.
Right.
So I mean there's two ways to look at the stadiums. One, do you want it to look like this where you're Phil, where you're showcasing it and showing everybody all the detail and all the hard work and everything, and that's cool. That's absolutely awesome. You got the blimp view, right? The overhead shots and stuff like that. But then you also have the stadiums that maybe are more designed to be played in, and most of the detail you'll see it in the game, and it will affect the game. And,
exactly.
And that kind of
That's
stuff.
what I tend to do when I build a stadium. Is I tend to focus on what you're going to see in the game. But I mean, the tedious work that went into the stadium, Murph. Again, I can't thank you enough for taking the time to do it. And this team will definitely be considered. I'm not sure if anyone submitted an Avalanche team or not. The things are so convoluted. I allowed them to get convoluted, and I apologize. I should have organized it a little bit better, and I will in the future.
Well, the other thing is Alaska is my new home. So.
Right. So this does have to be moved from
because I went on a cruise and we went to Alaska and I fell in love with Alaska, so I moved the Orlando Dragons from Orlando. I mean, we should have a team in Orlando now.
Right. By the way, this maybe the second or third video where I'm not wearing a Gambler shirt. I had a Gorillas shirt made for you while you were the Gorillas.
Yeah.
So you were the Dragons, then you're the Gorillas, then you're back to the Dragons, and now you're Alaska
Grizzlies.
Alaska Grizzlies. So if you want a shirt from now on, get it your damn self.
Okay. I will. I want to get it right. I want to get it what I want it to be. Las Vegas Gamblers. It's kind of lame.
I know. Listen, I told you.
Gamblers. That's lame. But a lot of sports teams' names are lame, and then you just start to associate them with a team like the Dodgers.
So we have 2 more stadiums to check out from Murph. Until then, let's move on to another very familiar name in Studio 44. All right, Mark, you should be familiar with this team because I believe your wife created this team, right? The Diablos, the San Diego Diablos, right? Didn't Michelle make that team?
She did.
San Diego, was there a connection or?
No, she's.
I mean, because Diablo, devil, hell. I mean, that seems like the exact opposite of what San Diego is, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of the teams that we use the same city that's a real city. We tried to avoid that as much as we could, but sometimes we couldn't.
Right.
Chicago.
Right. I mean, we do have two New York teams, but they're Manhattan and they're Brooklyn, right. And we have a team in Minneapolis, but they're called the Minnesota Twins. We're the Minneapolis Sky Sox,
right.
So stuff like that. But anyway, this is Archmage Mosh. We all know and love his work. He's our master replica guy. I showed you the exhibition stadium that he made, and that's a dear stadium to my heart, even though it's a piece of crap. But it's the first place we ever watched a Major League game before, right?
Yeah, 1985, second to last game of the season, the New York Yankees and the Toronto Blue Jays. The Blue Jays won the game 5-1 to win their first ever division title. The day before, we were at the hotel, and if the Blue Jays won, they would clinch. And Mom and Dad were listening to it on the radio because they wanted that game to mean something. The guy hit a fly ball to center field, and Lloyd Mosby dropped it. And the Yankees ended up winning that game and staying in it.
So then we watched the game where they lost.
So we watched the game where the Blue Jays clinched.
But then in 2017, what was the score?
1987.
Do you remember the score?
Which one?
To the game that we watched.
Yeah, 5-1.
5-1.
I said it already.
In 2017, the Yankees clinched a game that we were at. Are you ready for this? This is fucking crazy. A game you and I were at. 2017. Greg Bird hit a home run.
They clinched the playoff.
They clinched the playoff spot, beating the Blue Jays 5-1.
Is that the one where I dropped my wallet outside and I had to go out and get it?
Yes, and that's also the one where I've had to pee more than I've ever had to pee in my life. For 2.5 hours, it was brutal.
And
torture.
we wanted to see Aaron Judge take batting practice, and he didn't.
Right, him and G. Stanton didn't even freaking take. He wasn't even a Yankee in 2017, was he?
No, he wasn't.
No. But we predicted our home runs. You said Todd Frazier was going to home run. I said Greg Bird was going to hit a home run, and he did. And I saw Greg Bird hit home runs, I think, in 3 different stadiums that year. Bird hit one in Pittsburgh. I saw him in Rochester in a rehab game for AAA, and then I saw him in Toronto.
I missed Aaron Judge hit a home run in Rochester because I went out and got... What an idiot I was.
I don't remember seeing Aaron. But Aaron Judge, he was eating dinner in Rochester when he got the call to go to the majors in 2016. And we saw the game the night before. I have a picture. I'll put up in post. Anyway, okay, we have the Stadium L Diablo. It's in San Diego, California, altitude of 62 feet, built in 2023. Arch, once again, going out of his comfort zone. He's a master replicator, and he specializes in these old school looking stadiums. So he wanted to make another new modern looking stadium, and here's what he came up with.
We are going to most likely change the elevations if they're too much, because we don't want to play an unfair, we don't want Phil to play more games in the higher altitude, because it does make a difference.
Oh, it sure,
even
it sure
the
does.
developers say it makes a difference.
It makes a huge difference.
So we want it to be as fair as we can. So
here's what Arch came up with: another more modern looking stadium. He met my quirk satisfaction. Am I saying that right?
I like that. I like that.
That looks really cool, having the wall go down and then
Where's
back up.
Where's that orange color from?
This is a trucker container, a shipping container.
Very cool.
Arch is another master at creating these beautiful doorways, to make them look more realistic. Yeah. This whole second deck is completely 100% custom.
It's amazing. I love that orange. That orange and red down there. That looks like it would be the Dragons team, but it does Diablos. That's the colors Michelle used.
I like this little walkway too.
Can you go to the Batter's Eye? That's the second stadium in a row now that's used that one, correct?
This Texas one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wasn't that the one that was just used on the last
You know what? I honestly didn't pay attention.
People like that. You like to have that trickle where it hits you can hit it in there. I don't think it rolls down in this.
I don't think. There is some interaction with the props when you hit a home run to them, but not enough. And sometimes not the right prop. If you hit a ball into water, it doesn't sink, it doesn't splash, it just it lands there.
Yeah.
And I mentioned, we used to hit baseballs at Fireman's Park. I used to, if you hit a home run long enough on field 2, it goes right through the trees and you hear.
Yeah. Right.
Wouldn't it be cool if it made sounds when it hit it?
Yeah.
Like, who doesn't remember Fred McGriff's home run?
Right, off the foul. Right.
It was like deafening to Yankee fans. I'm sorry, I'm yelling in the microphone.
It didn't help, though, did it? He hit the home run and the Yankees still won.
And then what about Jim Leyritz? He hit that big home run in, what was it, Game 5, Game 6? Or no, it must have been Game 5. It might have even been Game 4. But
it was the one that started everything.
Right,
twisted it back around.
Off Wohlers, right?
So the Braves won the first two, or was it the first two? No, first two.
And then in York.
In Game 3, Leyritz hit that one. And then the Yankees won the next four. That went four in a row.
And that was off their closer, too.
Yeah, Mark Wohlers.
Over here, oh, wow, look at this building.
Yeah, that looks like a boat.
It does. That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's really neat. I like this stadium a lot. It's already got my vote as the San Diego Diablos.
Did you ever see the one I did where I buried it?
Yeah, you showed it to me. That's really fun. That's good. I like, he uses the red a lot. Mm-hmm. Again, I love the orange in right center field. Mm-hmm. The batter's eye. The only thing I would say is and this is something that you like, is there's not a lot of targets to hit. It's a lot of just into the stands, but that's okay. That's how stadiums.
Right. That's us. Yeah.
It doesn't. We don't have to all of the stadiums have the targets, and you do have that in left field.
Right down the line here. You got
like Leroy Tillman could be trying. Tillman and Stewart trying to hit that third deck up there,
or even on the roof of the scoreboard.
I don't know.
At least in a home run derby.
Yeah.
In a home run derby for sure. This second deck would be a poke.
Tillman and Stewart are the only guys who could get it up there, though. Those there's no righty. There's no other righty. Fendi,
Paste,
Sherman
Mosby.
Paste's more of a line drive guy.
Sherman Mosby could hit one up there. Tuan.
I don't know.
Tuan could put one up there.
They're power hitters, but not like Tillman and Stewart. Tillman and Stewart would be the guys.
Chris Taylor. He's a new guy.
Get out of here. It's not Tillman and Stewart, dude.
I love the quirkiness of this fence, too. But, I mean, one thing I don't like about this, and it's not Arch's fault, is the stupid green windows. Why would you let us have red fences and not have red frames to the windows, too? Yeah. I mean, come on. Or at least black.
Again, I wish that you could put ads on the outfield walls, because I would have I love that minor league look. I would have my walls plastered with ads.
Well, I mean, even big league stadiums now have them plastered all over the place.
Listen,
they suck every dime out of this.
In the NBA games, NBA 2K games, you can make this courts, which it's not nowhere near as fun, because a basketball court's a basketball court, right. But you can put ads out in the. They're not ads like this; they're digital ads, and you can upload your own pictures and put them on. I wish you could do that here. If you could have upload pictures to your account and then put them up where you want them to be. Like, for example, wouldn't it be awesome to be able to put your logo out there? Yeah. Because in the basketball games, you can put your own logo on the court.
Well, I think
you can put you can go into Photoshop or whatever you might use, and you can make, it wouldn't be Photoshop, but you make your own logo, and then you upload it. And then you can put that logo on your court. Imagine if you could have that behind home plate.
That would be amazing. I mean, they do show your logo in like the laser ribbons and the scoreboards and stuff like that. And I thought at one point they had them like on the side in the grass. No?
I wish they would.
But look at this gate.
But listen,
how awesome that gate looks.
It does. But imagine if you could. Just being able to do that just for the logos on your uniforms would be better. So you don't have to use that stupid animated, that drawing system or whatever they use to make your logos. If you could just upload a picture and make that your logo, it'd be so much easier. You make so much better logos.
Now, Arch did tell me in comments that he wanted to. I guess there's a lot of mountains in San Diego, and he wanted to highlight that in the background of the stadium. So Arch. More beautiful work.
Amazing job, man.
It definitely looks more modern than most of your stadiums, and it fits right into the theme of the team with the colors, and it's fantastic.
Beautiful.
We didn't really talk about this up here, but that looks great too.
Yeah, and the palm trees back there is cool. Again, I know I'm overdoing it, but I love the orange and red. I love that combination, anyways. That color combination.
Well,
remember my Orlando
Dragons
was orange and red.
Yep. Well, your first ones, your second ones were more like red and blue, right?
No, orange and red always with Dragons.
All right.
The Gorillas were red, black, and white.
Yep. All right. Well, Arch, thank you so much. This stadium is fantastic. Stadium L Diablo from Archmage. Thank you again for submitting. We will move on for now. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we all know Sewell 21. He gives us Oceanside Stadium DD for the San Juan Sharks. It's obviously in San Juan, Puerto Rico, altitude of 26 feet, built in 2024, so it's not open yet. It'll be ready for the opening day.
I think I go back to San Juan.
I know a boat you can get on. But that's part of the reasons I call them the Sharks, Jets and Sharks.
Sure.
And the fact that they're in the middle of the ocean in the Caribbean Sea, I thought it made sense. And I stole the color scheme from my old color scheme, the blue and the green stolen from the Seahawks. Okay. And this is what Sewell came up with, and it's fabulous. He's got an anomaly right here in right field.
This
is the center field batter's eye from Minnesota.
Okay.
And he's got an overhang, and I've mentioned that I love overhangs.
How did he do it?
Again, it's the anomalies. It'll overhang, but it doesn't really affect the game. So if you were to hit it and it would land on the deck, it would just it would go right through it.
Oh.
So you'd catch it. Yeah. I mean, how else would it work as an anomaly?
Unless it was a home run.
Right. If it hits like right here, it's going to be a home run. But if it goes like straight up and then straight down, it'll like just go through the thing, and
that'd be tough. I mean, you want definitely home field advantage. Your right fielders knows how to keep their eye on it.
Right. And these bushes are an anomaly too, because it's the back of the hill, the Angels Hill.
Oh, okay.
So that's another anomaly. He's got the Phillies backdrop.
I mean, having those anomalies is like it makes it. You can make them better. Like I can't make any of these.
It kills a lot of dead space too, because like say you wanted to put this brick right here, it wouldn't let you because you're too close to the bend, right? Mm-hmm. But the anomalies, it doesn't affect the blend.
Ah, gotcha.
Now it's redding out right now because the memory's at 98%, and I'm grabbing something that's too high. But the anomalies, it makes no difference where it is on the home run fence. And so I've gone back and I'm recreating the ballpark at the Moonshot Casino from scratch
because of anomalies.
Because I haven't done it with anomalies yet.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. That's valid.
That's where I'm working on some of my.
You can make it a lot better.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
That's where I'm hoping will be my masterpiece. I've put a lot of time into it over this weekend.
Oh my God.
Now, in right field, I love this deca here above the anomaly. Beautiful work over here.
Now, what do you imagine those people that get to sit there? What tickets do they have?
I would know. I don't know. Like these guys, it looks like they could just go right up here and grab something to eat.
So, like at Frontier Field, where they can go out. Is it still called Frontier Field? By the way,
nope. It's Innovative Field.
Fuck them. It's Frontier Field. Excuse my language. But yeah, so those would be like you pay to sit there. You probably have to pay to watch, or you already have a ticket.
Right. Now,
and then you go in there and get a table.
Do you agree with me that this would look so much better if they actually had people sitting there?
Yeah, they need to have people in there.
Yeah.
Even if they're completely still.
Right.
Just have them. You got people in the stadiums that are moving a little bit. Mm-hmm. Put like at least a couple of the tables.
The other thing you could do is just maybe have a standing room prop. There's like the four fans standing next to each other. You can lean them up against these walls, and you can put them in these props, to make it look like people are sitting there. Otherwise,
if you can have people sitting in the seats, you can have people sitting in the tables. And let me tell you something: if it was a good team, people would be sitting in those tables.
Yeah. The other thing people do a lot is they'll hide bleachers at the seats.
That's hard for some of them.
Right. And it doesn't always look great depending on the prop and where it's located.
I mean, sometimes it works, but.
I mean,
but once again, when you're playing in the game, you're not going to see it very much.
Right, and I'm no coder either, so I don't know what it would do to affect memory and what it would do to, but it seems like it's something that would be simpler.
And the other thing that I know they could do is you don't need the game to measure how far it is. You can just be like, okay, that's how far I made it, and you can put the number on yourself. You don't need to say display distance and then the game calculates it. Because you can do that when you're making the wall, when you're making the fences, and then you just remember it, and then you can put it on yourself.
Right. I'm okay with that, too. Right. But they don't give you a good number prop.
Well, you can't put it on anyway.
You can't put it on the fence. I mean, there's ways you get around that, too. You put it on other stuff, but it still doesn't always look great.
No, it looks terrible.
I mean, but look, if you grab the fence...
It tells you how much.
It shows you.
Yeah.
Why can't that number just be plastered right on the fence?
True.
And then when you let go of it, it just stays there.
Would it be on the joint of every spot?
Every place that it joins. I mean, it shows when you put it on there.
Yeah.
But I love this restaurant up here with the 2 decks or the 2 layers of the restaurant.
Where is this?
It's the San Juan, Puerto Rico.
San Juan, Puerto Rico.
I
wonder if they have a lot of fish there. It's like seafood restaurants.
They have this rounded building out in left center field next to the batter's eye or behind the batter's eye. The trees lining up the walkway to this building. It's... Again, so much detail. I like that it's not too big of a stadium. Well, I guess it's 3 decks.
There's a lot of people, a lot of places to sit back there in the behind.
Yeah, and this is kind of built into this. I guess there's not really
the island.
Yeah,
that's very, very nice.
And I really like the ship. It does kind of fit the theme. It's beautiful. I'm lucky. I've been to San Juan. It's very nice.
What's that right there? What's under the ship? What are those? Yeah, what are those? Are those windows? No. On the front wall there.
Oh yeah. There's look at that. There's special seating in there with the tables. Yep. Again, when you're in a game, it's just so frustrating that you can't put 2 people at that table. It would make it look that much better. Oh, and he used another anomaly right here. He's got a batter's eye.
I mean, yeah, it's not like they're making the stadium with nobody in it because there's people in the stands. Mm-hmm. I'd like to see what it looks like at night.
This is something that I want them to incorporate into stadium building. Obviously, Minnesota has an overhang. Citi Field has an overhang. Why can't they make an overhang in a stadium that was created? If it hits that, it's a home run. Here's what the stadium looks like with the lights on. I didn't do that for Murph Stadium.
So wait a minute. Do they have those in the stadiums that have overhangs?
Yeah, Minnesota. There's Minnesota. There's an overhang, and in Citi Field, there's an overhang.
People just might go crazy with it. It would just be hard.
It would still be fun as hell, though. That's definitely a wish list thing of mine, is to have an overhang. The ballpark, the Moonshot Casino would definitely need another.
It would have overhangs all the way down.
Not the whole way.
Imagine if you had an overhang way up high. That would be fun.
Yeah, that could, that like you don't reach very much.
Yeah.
But Sewell, obviously, check out his YouTube page. He has his own where he has already featured this stadium. And again, I say, please watch my videos too, because have you watched his videos? Such a better presentation than mine. He does all this slow motion camera work, and he does he edits clips together, and
he's your competition. Why you? Because kick him out of here.
No, he scratches my back and I scratch.
He sends
his back.
people to your business. You'll send people to my business.
It's not competition. He's
tit for tat.
Sewell's. He's my dude, man.
Are you sure it's Sewell?
I think so. It's spelled like fuel, but Sewell.
Fuel.
I'm not sure. I can't remember off the top of my head if he's ever said it in his videos. But he just has a great presentation, and he has great stadiums, and he does his own version of showcasing other people's stadiums, and he showcases his own. He could be
a guest on Respect the Pick.
Maybe, yeah.
Come on over.
But I love using this building as a custom roof to the upper deck. That looks amazing too. I'm not sure that's something he featured in his video, but that's a lot of tedious work to make that look that good.
Yeah,
and to make it that clean.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to do that. I like to having custom stadiums, but I want somebody else to build it for me. You know what I mean?
Maybe that's a tease to what we have coming up.
All right.
All right. So let's move on from the stadium. Sewell, again, you're a master. Fantastic work. Thank you for taking the time to make another stadium for the Ricky Davis League. Let's move on. Okay, we have Molsen Creekside Park in Vancouver, Canada. This is the home of the Yetis. Now, that's a team, I don't know. I think someone gave me another team for the Yetis, possibly. I just went with Yetis because I found them in the vault, and I threw a bunch of logos together.
I like the Yetis. I thought Jaden made the Yetis.
Nope, he made the Manitoba Avalanche, and I love that color scheme. And I like this one. It's Oakland, basically, but the green's a little more turquoisey.
Okay.
So I always like this team. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be rebranded, but someone did give me a suggestion for it, but I can't remember what
you
it was
often used to think like colors are green that are really blue. Like after you left the Croc store the other day, I got like 4 different people tell me that was blue, not green.
I knew I had a conversation like what is
just
this?
Random
is this blue or green up
That's
here?
more blue.
That's more blue. Okay, but yeah. See,
that's more gray than anything.
He names his stadiums after, or he names his concession stands after, local places. So he does some research, and so not only does he spend a lot of time on the detail and the props and building the stadium itself, but he looks for background in the cities and stuff.
Now that center field batter's eye I've never seen before.
Yeah, this is new. This came from an update.
Oh,
so it's pretty cool.
Where's that from?
It's for the It's new. It's fake.
Oh.
Most props are based on props from other stadiums, but
is that like a waterfall?
Yeah, it's a waterfall. And with anomalies, you can move it and put it in different places.
But it's not really a waterfall. It's more like a fountain.
Yeah, it's like a special, like Joey, Joey's looking out when he's crying over Chandler. Not,
like a recycled water.
Not with Chandler anymore. But yeah, he's got the quirk in right field with the bushes in front of the stands. It definitely gives me a Vancouver vibe, like with the nature and mountains.
Have you been to Vancouver?
No, I haven't. But didn't you stop there?
Yeah.
As part of the tour?
It does have a lot of that. I like Vancouver better than Seattle.
That's why I thought it made sense for the Yetis.
People are always like, "Oh, I love Seattle. I love Seattle. I love Seattle." We should find another Washington State team that we could do. Like, what's the other big city in Seattle? There's got to be another one.
In Washington? I don't know that there is one.
We could just call the team Washington. We don't even have a DC team, do we?
No, we don't.
That's silly.
We
don't have a Maryland team. We don't have a Maryland, Boston.
We have Boston.
Or not Boston, Maryland, Washington, Baltimore. That whole part right there, we don't have a team.
Well, again, Rochester Galaxy.
We got a
Dublin
DC.
Vipers.
We got to have a DC team.
Okay, so maybe we can. Maybe that's.
How did we let that go? How did we not have a DC team?
I don't know. Washington. I don't know.
I don't know what the other city in Washington. I know what it is, but I can't think of it right now. There's another. It's not as big as Seattle, but it's
obviously. But look at this! Look at this building with the 2 different layers, and he's got the fans sitting out here. That's awesome. Incorporating. Look at it! Holy they go all the way up. Columbia. The Granville Island Hotel.
All right, how about that? How'd you like to have those seats?
This building is expensive too.
Yeah.
As far as memory, it takes up a lot of memory.
Well, he popped some people on the decks too, didn't he? Or those? Yeah.
Yep. And see, this works. For this prop, it works because it's far away. You can't necessarily see.
Yeah.
So if you're doing a home run derby or a game, these people up here, you don't notice that they're on the stupid, ugly bleachers.
It doesn't look very safe, though.
No. These fake people's lives are in danger.
They could just jump off. The wind could blow a little bit.
They could sneeze.
Yeah.
I've talked about the stadium that I made with the highway, or it's like the bridge is like part of the stadium.
Right.
How many people have crashed right onto the field because look, Bucky Crozier's up. But look at this big deck way back here. This looks phenomenal. He's a master at making his plazas.
Love decks, dude, don't you?
Yeah, they're target. I don't think he could hit that deck.
He does love his outside plazas. He
did it with the Memphis Rockers, and he did it with the last team that we looked at for the Avalanche, right?
Avalanche.
They need to be relocated, though. That's official. We need to move the Alaska because they were Manitoba, right?
Manitoba.
Where is that? Jaden came
Manitoba
up with that, right?
is in Canada.
Okay, that's what I thought. But
It's one of their. It's not a city though. It's a province.
Oh, okay. So we need to move them. Maybe there's another city.
They can just be Manitoba.
I guess so, but is there an audio for Manitoba?
Oh, I don't know. Just look for cold weather.
Now, the upper deck, this is, bear with me on this.
Okay.
It looks a little bit older, right?
Because of the color, or
Yeah, I think because of the color. Anytime I think green, I think old school.
just because Fenway, because
Like
you hate,
Fenway,
hate the Red Sox.
Now, I think it fits with Vancouver. Doesn't it seem like they tried to put a team there and it didn't work? So, like when they decided to join the Ricky Davis League, they used the same stadium.
Yeah.
That's the kind of vibe I get from the stadium, and I think that works really well. So yeah, I mean that cool bridge back there is really, really awesome. It's got a bunch of those mini concession stands in there where you can get popcorn or whatever.
Yeah,
it's perfect. And the docks back there.
Lots of things to hit.
Yep, you lit up the city.
Yeah, it looks good.
It's fantastic.
Got some DJ Jackson hitting that hotel. That's a poke though. Hitting that hotel.
Yeah. How
that
deep
is
it
a
right here?
bomb.
326, 361 right here. That's not too bad, but still, you're going to go up above those bleachers into the hotel.
Yeah,
that's
almost.
I'd say that's tougher than hitting the warehouse in Baltimore.
Oh yeah.
This is fantastic. Murph, another masterpiece.
Good job, Murph. I wonder if his name is Murphy.
It is. I think so. I can't remember what his YouTube tag is. It's different than his gamer tag. So, all right. That's another one from Murph. Let's move on. So this is Bolt Stadium at Aon Energy Field from Shawukana. Again, I hope I'm saying his name right. But it's located in the Bay Area. And I thought it could be maybe if we rebranded a team there, it could be a rival of the San Jose Wizards. I think he wanted them to be the Bolts or something like that. Again, I have to go through the comments and look at this
lightning
again.
bolts or giant screws?
I think lightning bolts, giant screws. This is a common way to get the numbers in the walls, and it's a great idea. I just wish it looked better.
Yeah, you wish you had better. You wish you had better number,
a better
chances.
Prop. Yes, that's terrible. That sign.
It's not that what he did is bad. It's that the only one that has numbers is that wood.
Right.
That wood crap.
And the fact that if you move this just a little bit, it throws everything off. Look.
No, yeah, I know. You don't have to do it.
Okay. No, I'm going to go back. And it's still messed up. I reverted the changes and it's still off.
Okay, that's weird.
Right? It's so frustrating.
Okay, so here's my question. Zoom back a little bit.
Okay.
Those big buildings back there, are they part of the stadium or are they across the street in the...
it looks like it's connected to the stadium right here.
So it's part of the stadium. Yeah. So it's like the owner's offices?
Maybe. Just it's the warehouse from Baltimore.
Yeah, but that's not part of the stadium. That's across the street. It's a warehouse.
Well, I mean, you have to enter the stadium. You have to get a ticket to go to the warehouse, at least in between.
You didn't used to have to.
I'm pretty sure you always did, because that's where a lot of concessions are across the street from the warehouse. There's concessions and stuff like that, like team stores and stuff. Of course, there's also team stores right in the warehouse.
So what do you think that is? If this is part of our Ricky Davis League, we get to canonize it. So
same thing.
Concessions and team store and
team offices, stuff like that. Maybe there's
batting cages.
Yeah, I was about to say maybe there's a batting cage in there or bullpens. Or
guys
something.
Can stay there. They have a couple places to sleep and stuff.
We have another anomaly out here. I like how he put the bleachers kind of into it.
Yeah.
Instead of hiding the bleachers like I tend to do and a lot of other people tend to do, he just had the bleachers still out there, and I think that still looks good.
Yeah, that looks good. This is the kid, right?
No, this is Shawukana. I don't think I've showcased the stadium for him before.
What's the red? The red you told me before.
This is another anomaly. This is the top of the batter's eye.
You showed me.
This is you starting to see this all over the place. Yeah, it's very popular
because it's an easy way to get flowers.
Yep.
You don't have to keep on putting another prop. It's big.
Right. And
so it takes up space.
It lines up along the home run fence is great. And if you, like I said, a lot of times if you try to put things near the home run fence, it reds out because the quirkiness of it can't let you overhang over the fence.
Right.
But I think this is a great idea to kind of hide the scoreboard to use those signs.
Yeah, for sure.
That looks really cool.
If you have the data for it.
Yep.
You got like a green monster situation going.
Yes. This deck is really nice. I've said it before. I'll say it again. These corners are so tricky to find what you want to do with it.
Yeah.
To make it look good, and I think this looks really good. And he's commented a couple times, so he's gone back. He said, "Hey, it's done," and then he commented again, "Hey, I went back and fixed it," and "Hey, I did." So he spent a lot of time on this too, and I'm so grateful that you guys.
What team
want
is
to
it?
put out a good prop. I don't think he gave me
Bay Area.
He wants to maybe brand a new team. So like I said, maybe when this is all said and done, and people have submitted enough stuff, maybe we can do like a live stream, the Studio 44's first ever live stream.
Here's
where we announce the stadiums and what the new teams are going to.
If you can't rebrand New York. You can't rebrand Chicago.
Right. I told them which ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any of the other ones. It's fine with me.
Right.
Just not New York, Chicago, LA.
That's why I figured you wouldn't care about the Memphis Sound.
I'm just giving you a hard time about that. Although that was one of my favorite teams I made.
But listen.
And I loved the uniforms. I had the notes and I loved those uniforms. My other favorite uniforms were the Lightning, and you fucking totally fucked those.
You didn't upload the logos when you first created them.
Listen,
and
guys.
I didn't take. Dude, you wait a minute. You make me do all the work for this stuff.
I do now because I don't care about the customization as much as Phil does.
So if you don't upload the logos, I'm not going to take the time to recreate the ones that you did.
That was only the first league ever. No,
exactly.
We didn't upload any of them from that.
But if I uploaded the stuff I created,
okay, so
if you uploaded the stuff that you created, we could have brought them back and used them again.
Here's the thing, everybody. This is definitive. Phil makes better stadiums. I make better uniforms. It's just. I think Phil's uniforms all look like softball uniforms, like travel team softball uniforms. His gambler uniforms.
What's so terrible about the gambler?
That's it.
The away ones are great.
They're ugly
with the blue gamblers across.
His uniforms suck, guys.
Whatever. You all your uniforms are from the 80s with the stripe down. Where are you? The Mets, the 86 Mets. I don't like the baby blue either. You like the baby blues with the Cardinals and the Royals and
I do.
Texas Rangers and Blue Jays.
Phil wants all his uniforms to be the same. His hat has to match. The hats have to match the socks. He only wants two colors, not three.
That's not true.
Boring.
Either.
Boring.
All right, but here, let's take the. I like this look too. I've done this before too, where you do the numbers on top of each other.
But you can't see them because
you
moved it.
Right. In the real version of the thing, it's fine. But because I moved it, the game can't.
All right. Here's my one thing about it. Right field, go back down.
Okay.
Let me see that foul pole. It looks a little small for me.
Oh yeah, you like your big foul poles. That's not too bad.
It's not the same as the one in left field, though, is it?
I think it is. It just looks different because it's on the big high fence.
You got to have the big foul poles if you're a major league stadium.
Now, one thing I tried to do recently while I was making a stadium.
Is that the small one? Is there bigger ones?
Yeah. See, it did it again.
Yeah.
I went to fix the foul pole in left field, and it brought me over to the one in right. So I changed it, and then if I try to fix this one, it takes me to the one over in left.
Weird.
What the hell is going on?
Weird.
I don't know. But yeah, look at this little entryway. This is cool.
Yeah,
He's got the turnstiles and
I don't want to hit it over the foul pole. You know what I mean? If you
I hear you. It's I like to have a bigger one myself. The problem with the bigger ones is it looks like it's going to fall over.
No, it doesn't. There's no problem with the big ones.
Like, look at it.
There's no problem with the big one.
Is that the biggest one? That's not the biggest one.
That is.
That's the bigger, more modern one. See, it looks like it's not even barely on there. Looks like it's going to just tip right over.
It looks great.
And I don't know.
Fine, you don't have to have them big. I'm not. If before I go play, I'm going to switch them.
Here's something else I would like on the walls. I like a lot of stadiums that have like a yellow or green, or I think Toronto has a light blue now stripe along the top that says it has to go over that.
Yeah.
I like that look a lot too.
All right, this is pretty good.
That one. Yeah, I like this one a lot. This one again is Bolt Stadium at Aon Energy Field. All right, Showakana. I think this might be the first stadium I ever showcased from him. So thank you so much for joining the Studio 44 community
and the Ricky Davis League.
That's right. So we're gonna move on to one more from a fairly new creator, and then we got one more from Murph. All right, fellas, we have Arlo Field from Roanoke, Virginia. This is from Ray Ratliff. We just showcased the stadium from him in my last video. No, it wasn't a Ricky Davis League submission. It was a Stadium Extravaganza. Built in 1979, altitude of 1,740 feet, and I like this one. This one looks pretty cool. You got the big wall in left field.
Nobody ever puts big walls anywhere else but right down the lines.
There's only so many places you can put a big wall. I mean, but
I like to have my whole wall be big sometimes. I don't like to have too many ground rule doubles. I do like my walls to be the same height all the way around for the most part.
This is a popular use of this sign right here to like section things off because I like the trim. I love that white trim over the brick, and he sectioned off the seating area out here. What looks great.
What are those black seats?
They're
so they're not seats. What are they?
They're like sectioning them off. Like there's stadiums where like they have like I think Atlanta does. There's like a shelf in front of a bunch of seats or something. It's almost like a bar stool.
Yeah, but there's no seats there.
That's the vibe I think he's going for. He could probably put bleachers in there and have it look really good. Charter U YNT Academy. Okay.
So what stadium is this? What team is this? Was this made for?
Again, I don't think he had a specific team in mind, but I can look for it again.
Listen, let's throw this out there too. We need a team in the Baltimore, D.C. area.
Okay.
Baltimore, Washington, Maryland. I mean, it could be Annapolis. It could be D.C. But we like to have a audio. So find an audio, right? An audio from that area.
Well, Washington, I'm sure is available.
I prefer it not to be Washington, but what can we do?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
You probably can do Maryland.
Yeah.
If there was a D.C., I feel like we would have done it. Right?
Yeah.
But Virginia is in that area.
Right.
So you could do Richmond. You could do Richmond and have that be because that part of the country needs a Ricky Davis team.
So who do we get rid of then? Do we get rid of Rochester? Do we get rid of Dublin? Do we get rid of?
We should get rid of one of the other countries.
Okay, Tokyo, Dublin.
I like Tokyo.
London. I like London.
The London Spiders?
No, London Bulldogs.
Oh.
I'm going to unveil them in the next.
Maybe the Dublin.
Yeah, Dublin. I mean, just nothing about Dublin
or Rochester.
Dublin's the next stadium we're going to show too. I thought Rochester was good to have just to represent our hometown.
Yeah. Get rid of the bullpens on the lines.
There's not a single person who doesn't want these bullpens gone.
Listen, here's my thing. If you get rid of the bullpens, you don't need bullpens. They can be hidden. You can pretend they're hidden. I'd rather pretend the bullpens are hidden than see them down the lines. Right?
I agree.
Or give us a prop that's a bullpen that we can stick out in the outfield if we want to.
Well, here's my only thing. Here's my thinking as to why they have to have these here. They show an animation of people warming up in the bullpen.
Then don't.
So my idea, like you said, is if they're hidden, just show them warming up in a place inside.
Yeah.
Because the Chicago Cubs, their bullpens are now under the bleachers, right? In right field and left field.
Yeah, they could be anywhere.
Exactly. So why not just – because people will make them, if they don't exist. People will find ways to make –
I would rather lose the animation than have those still down the line.
I agree. It creates way too much foul territory. This corner – this curve is way too tough to build around. So I agree.
You don't need the animation. You can do something else.
Right.
You don't have an animation.
Show the guy talking on the phone in the dugout.
Right.
That's all you have to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, this is another one where he looks like he spent a lot of time outside the stadium. He's got a lot of buildings and little neighborhoods and a big parking lot. It looks really good. So Ray, fantastic work, buddy. We showed your stadium last video. I can't wait to show more from you. So keep building them. I'll keep showing them.
Again, a lot the warehouse, right? Is that the warehouse again, or is that a different one?
Nope, this is a different building.
Looks thicker than the warehouse.
Yeah, this is a different building. They just added this. This is the direct steal from San Diego.
Look at that center field, man. Whoo, you need a Sammy Reed out there.
Cover a lot of ground. Mariano Perez.
You need Sammy Reed. You need You almost need 2 center fielders.
This is good work. I like this a lot. Okay, we have another stadium from Murph075. This is Dublin St. Patrick Ballpark. Unfortunately, this team might be on the chopping block now, right?
I like what I see though, just from what I'm looking at now.
Yeah, we can move the stadium. Max altitude. It's in Ireland.
Like I said, I like the minor. It's smaller looking. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have all the stands in the outfield. It looks
right, and it has a lot of layers.
Yeah.
In the outfield, you got this deck up here, but with the bleachers right up in front, and you got the targets. Oh, he hits one off the concession stand. Look at that.
Every time we talk about targets, you do the announcer thing.
I know, right? I do.
Oh, he hit it off the. Holy, he hit it off the. Oh, he hit it off the.
I definitely do. Look at these steps, man. I get so jealous of people who make good steps.
What is he doing that with?
The circular prop.
Wow, man.
That's such tedious work. I get so jealous because even when I do take time, they still look like shit. I wonder if he's an architect or something, right? He's amazing.
Maybe, or a mathematician.
He's got this great blend in with the green. Now, this green prop, at first when I saw it as grass, I'm like, why the heck would they make squares and rectangles grass? But then I've seen people use them as like an ivory look, and it looks so good. Like Wrigley Field. Mm-hmm. He's got the Guinness party pit. Now, I think he told me that he tried to name the field Guinness, and they wouldn't let him. Like, it wouldn't save. Is it because it's a beer or something? But, I mean, look at all the detail with the trees. I've said it before. I can never make the trees look good for whatever reason. They just look like they're, staged
out
there.
Of place,
yeah. I don't know if out of place. Yeah, something like that. Another cool river in the background. I've never been to Ireland, so I don't know much about it, but it would definitely be a smaller stadium, and without the seats wrapping around, it definitely, seats less, only 37K.
Right, like I said, the more of that minor league feel.
Right. And look at the facing. I need to speed up my camera or something. That is definitely how I would picture it. Something really old school.
Yeah. Yep. Well, that's how everything.
But then you got
Europe,
right.
London.
You got the modern city in the background. Gorgeous.
Yep.
He's a master at putting buildings together to make different buildings. Murph is my guy, and more quirky dimensions with a higher.
Murph, I just want you to know, I think if Phil was not married, he would propose to you.
Listen.
That's a deep left field.
As someone who's been obsessed with stadiums his whole life, I appreciate an artist.
You should show. That would be actually a good episode.
What?
Get some of your books.
Oh, I've flipped through the pages.
Show them.
It's a stack this thick of.
It's funny because now Jaden does the same thing, but with Pokemon. Is it me or is it very straight across in the outfield?
It is. You don't see many stadiums like that. That's like Yankee Stadium, Death Valley out there.
Yeah, that's
a pop.
Either that's really deep or the other one's
402.
402 in left center.
Yeah.
So what's center field?
Shallow. Not even 400, but still 395. Their stadium's under 400, right?
Yeah,
Isn't San Francisco Pac Ballpark underneath? So. But that's another thing. For some reason, I just figured if there was going to be a stadium in Ireland, it would be deep. It would be super deep. Well, that's what I have for you today, guys. We still have a lot of teams out there that need a stadium. I don't think anyone made a Rochester Galaxy, although Sewell reached out and said he might try one.
Also, we want a team in the
DC area.
Baltimore, Virginia. That middle of the East Coast, right? Uh-huh. Like between Atlanta and Philadelphia.
Someone said they wanted to tackle Manhattan Express, but I don't think they submitted that yet.
We don't even have a team in Atlanta.
We're looking.
We have a North Carolina team though.
We have Charlotte. Yep, Charlotte Spiders. We need a team for Manhattan Express or stadium for Manhattan Express. And again, listen, if you've seen a stadium submitted for an area already, make a better one than that person.
Make them better.
So yeah, don't be afraid to submit a stadium. If someone else already submitted one for that area, we can take our pick as to which one we like better, and we'll still have other uses for the stadiums that didn't necessarily get picked. We have the RDL All-Stars against MLB Legends. That's where I usually go to test out a lot of stadiums that I found online or that I created. And I have 3 levels of, teams of the Ricky Davis League that we can show highlights from.
Another way we like to test out stadiums is home run derby.
Right. So we have teased something big, a request very big for the Ricky Davis League. We have with you right now one of the co-creators, the main creator of
By the way,
Davis
Phil
League.
is not one of the co-creators.
No, I tagged along. I came in later.
I mean, my original co-creator only played like 7 games, maybe. You know what I mean? So.
I'm the Roy Kroc. Is that his name? Roy?
Yeah, the guy who jumped in McDonald's.
Yeah, I'm the Roy Kroc of the Ricky Davis League.
Yeah, for sure.
I helped made it what it is, but I didn't found it.
Right.
So anyway, we have one of the creators of the Ricky Davis League. He needs a stadium. So we need a stadium for Mark's team, which is going to be
the Alaska Grizzlies.
Okay.
It's going to be Sitka specifically, but the game has Alaska in it as an audio. So Sitka's a place in Alaska. We went on a cruise and I really enjoyed it.
Now, obviously, that's a city that would never be able to host any.
No. It's just a tiny little island. They couldn't even get enough people there.
Okay, right. I mean, is that a place where you can only reach by land or air, or by sea or air?
Yeah, I believe so.
I don't think you can't drive there. I know there's a lot of places.
So I mean, I still want the stadium to be a decent size. Well, I mean, it's not real, so it's fine. But I really want like a minor league feel, bigger than most minor leagues. I like to have some upper deck seating, but you got to put the bear in there.
Okay, the bear statue.
Yeah, and I would like to be able to hit it.
Okay,
with preferably left field because my big hitters are right-handed. I really like the brick look. I like the bricks in the field. In the outfield, I like the brick fence, the brick home run fence. I like that. I like the brick batter's eye. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you the things that
right.
I really like. A lot of ads. I like the signs. I like the posters. I like to see a lot of that minor league, almost like newspaper ad look. You know what I mean? Like where it looks like all.
Yep.
So
French Silver Stadium-ish.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
So this is a big ask. So I'm calling out Sewell. I'm calling out Sandman Dan. I'm calling out Murph. I'm calling out Arch. I'm calling out Ray.
You're going to make one. You're not going to tell me whose is whose, though, right?
I have one made.
But you shouldn't show me.
All right, I won't show you. There's some stuff in there that has a Phil Sherman feel to it, so it might be easy to tell that it's mine.
Okay. Also, another thing I'd like to add is if you want to do retired numbers, I only got 3. It would be 10, 19, and 24. 10 is Ricky Davis. By the way, Phil was resistant to calling it the Ricky Davis League for the first 20 years of the Ricky Davis League. He's like, don't call it that, don't call it that, don't call it that. Well, finally, it's like, you know what? That's what we call it. But Ricky Davis is the third baseman, and he's won 6 billion MVPs and 20 billion batting titles, right? 19 for Mike Gooden, and then Ricky Madlock, 24. He's my second baseman. He's been on my team for a long time. He's won quite a few battles.
So now I've said you can submit stadiums from teams that have already been made for, right? This time I actually want you to, everybody, Wally74, Sandman Dan, Johnson 27769, Bulldig 13, Damien 4486, Murph, Marco, Sandman, Sewell, Larocco, Bo Tiger, Archmage. I want a version of Bears Park or Bears Stadium or whatever you guys want to name it.
Give it a name, and I might change the name. But.
And I will do a whole video. And maybe that's another one we could live stream the selection, or maybe we get it down to 3 after I showcase a bunch of them. Get it down to 5.
A couple episodes to do it. Yeah,
right. This is huge. Okay, this is one of. We're talking about high-profile teams like the Gamblers and the Stars, the LA Stars, the San Jose Wizards, the Brooklyn Bomb Squad. All those guys are the high-profile teams. This is the highest of high profile.
Right, because the two that are the highest are Gamblers, which Phil makes himself.
Right.
So then mine, which I don't like to make, and I'm open to see your guys' ideas. Also, even if Phil did make his, mine would be higher profile because I'm an OG. I'm an original gangster. Right?
Well, Mark, thank you for coming. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I look forward to it.
I think you were just as surprised as I was to see I mean, even though it's like I have like 120 subscribers. Thank you, by the way. I'm not sure I have.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you guys.
we knew that the stadiums were doing well, but then when people showed interest in Ricky Davis,
yeah, I can't thank you guys enough for getting me over 100 subscribers. I don't think I officially thanked you guys for that yet. And
they want to see highlights.
People want highlights, and
it's fun.
I mean,
man.
before I even got to this point, I had people saying that they would check out the Ricky Davis League and they wanted a background profile on some of the players.
Yeah.
If that's something that you guys are more interested in, I can do that. Leave a comment if you want to know more about the players before. But I always thought it would be better just to bring them up maybe in this format where I'm showcasing your stadiums in a home run.
Yeah, maybe we just need to have a Ricky Davis stream.
We could do that. Maybe we do a scrimmage against each other somehow, and
listen,
we can talk about our players.
Go to Respect the Pick too.
Yes, that's another thing. Please check out Respect the Pick, the podcast with me, Mark, and his son Jaden. It's a podcast basically. That's the main thing. I always thought it would be background noise if you're at work, if you're in a car, if you're getting ready in the morning. That's when I listen.
There's a lot of stuff on there though. It's one of the things we maybe should tighten up. We can talk. We can talk.
Yeah.
We just can.
Right.
And we like to give our opinion on stuff. Nothing political.
I have a background in radio, and one of the reasons I didn't like working in radio is because they talked about depressing stuff all the time. So I always thought, wouldn't it be nice if I could be involved in a show where we're talking about fun stuff? Let's talk about video games and baseball and movies and songs and TV shows and stuff like that. I thought that would be fun. So that's all I have for you. Mark's taking off. Thank you so much for sticking with us this long. It's probably going to go down in history as one of the longer videos in Studio 44. I mean, I've never had someone to bounce ideas off with before and comments and stuff like that. So I always thought, at one point or another, I had to get Mark on here because this is not my baby. It's our baby. He gave me the idea to ask you guys to create stadiums for the Ricky Davis League. So we're very excited that you guys are excited. And now we have something huge. Here's the problem, though. We still have like 10 more teams that need stadiums. If you guys are still excited about it. So if you want your stadium showcased outside of the Ricky Davis League, I'm still going to bust out stadium extravaganza videos. I still have requests for that. So if you have a stadium that you want nothing to do with Ricky Davis League, that's fine. Stadium name, gamer tag in the comments below, and I will showcase that ASAP. So look through the video. Look for teams that you want to create a stadium for. Think of a stadium for, what's the name of the team? Alaska Grizzlies. Think of a stadium. He's given you some of the stipulations that he wants in a stadium. We're going all out in a full contest. And speaking of contest, I have something else in mind that I'm going to tease for another time. But I do have an idea for some other kind of contest. So be on the lookout for that. Like, subscribe, comment, ring the bell. All that good stuff. I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll catch you another time.